sad to wear this shirt today. Jesus.
Come on.
I don't know enough about soccer.
Easy.
Random question. What inanimate object do you wish you could eliminate from existence? Right? If you really thought
That's a tough
about
one. Object. Like,
I'll go fish.
Like a
Something that doesn't.
oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of context. There's a picture of me in my parents' house from when I was like 9 or 10. They took me to Bayshore to. I'll bring it up.
Yeah.
I'll do it for the views.
Is that you?
If they haven't shut us down.
You have to have a bulb in them that are just taking up space.
Nice.
You should add it to Ryan's bulbless light collection.
Mine has a bulb in it.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It just wasn't on that one.
It's my light.
We haven't gone that late to
You do.
serious users for sure.
I think that there's something that I don't get a lot of, and it's, you know, when people have keychains that they only have like 3 or 4 keys on it, but they have like 17
rings,
extra like trinkets and stuff that's on there,
yeah,
and I don't get it. Yeah, but
basically
it's
you're
also,
deceiving people.
I'm just like, why? Why? Why?
My one
defense-
keychain.
In my defense,
Yeah, as a Millennium Falcon bottle opener, because
everyone needs a bottle opener.
why wouldn't you have a bottle opener on your car keys? Come on.
Sure. Today's Thursday, so 2 days, couple days.
Yeah.
The announcement coming with respect to the program in general. So we won't get into the specifics, but we can say that starting next week's episode or the next episode, depending on life getting in the way, we will be officially sponsored by a company.
Woo!
So we have sold out and we'll be having ads for at
That
least
didn't take long.
Yeah. every 20 seconds there will be a 30-second ad.
That's right. Just us introing the ad, and that's the podcast.
Someone's got to keep the lights on.
Shameless plugins.
So for at least the next 4 weeks, there'll be some sort of ad, either in show or prior to the show. We're still working out the details, crossing the T's and dotting the lowercase J's.
And who knows, maybe viewers like you and listeners like you might get something out of it. A nice
Maybe.
little tidbit
Cash
of
bonus.
cash bonus. Yeah.
For or listen for that, starting next episode next week. Yes. But since we're talking about cash, I was reading the other day, GameStop is confirmed that they're looking at buyout talks.
Really?
The retailer has been in financial trouble since
The blockbuster of the
long time.
gaming world.
yeah, just last year in the States alone, they closed 150 stores as digital downloads have seen a big increase. So I know, Michelle, you and I, we
were just
swing
talking
by
about
EB Games kind of on the regular. I know over the past, I think, year and a half, I've noticed they've started to really expand the products that they sell.
like
There's
merchandise,
Yeah.
as Ryan brought up Bayshore, there's the EB Games store there. They actually expanded the store and now referred to as an EBX, where it's like 90% everything other than video games in that store.
Yeah.
Like Funko bobbleheads and other
Board
shirts and
and
hats
stuff.
and yeah.
Um,
So yeah, are we looking at Blockbuster of video games? We're gonna have game stores go out of business now, or
Yeah, I mean, can't really remember the last time I bought a video game actually in a retail store.
and just our system, and just for specifically our situation, like they playing the Switch, going somewhere else, and then wanting to put in a different game, and just not wanting to get up and get the other cartridge and it's really not.
Well, it's sad in my case because the cartridge is literally a floor above me, and I can't be bothered to get off the couch.
It's definitely, it's definitely a thing that I'm like, I just don't, and it usually means I stop playing the system instead of just being like, well, I already have this cartridge in, I'll just play another round of this.
Yeah,
I'm usually like, well, I could either go get the other game or stop playing, and I usually end up not playing. But
I
yeah,
know
digital downloads are, I mean, it's definitely, I think the main reason I'm still getting cartridges for the Switch, like I have Mario Tennis coming tomorrow, and I've pre-ordered my Super Smash and Mario Party cartridges, and it's just because if I pre-order on Amazon, I end up getting like $10 off the price, and I still get it on the same day. So, like, why not?
Yeah, I think even from a physical state, getting it off of Amazon versus going to a store and buying it, I think is still
exactly. Absolutely.
And yeah, going back to the, so if folks are going more the digital route, there's less of that happening, and less physical trades going on and things of that nature. Like
that's also been kind of a deterrent for me getting on. Like I have a few digital downloads on my Switch for sure, but they're all kind of like mini games, like that basketball one, the NBA Playgrounds or whatever it is. And it's mainly for resale value later on. I don't know, maybe when the Switch 2 comes out games than it is to be like, all right, well, I'm
I think there as to why Sony and the PlayStation don't do crossplay. And basically he said, well, he was there. He heard an internal reason was strictly money. They didn't like the idea of somebody buying something on an Xbox and being able to use it on PlayStation. So again, as we said before, it's all about profit margins.
But are they using, like, it's not like, it's not like I could buy a Xbox version of NHL, whatever, that disc, and then pop it into a PlayStation and have it work.
Well, I think what it's referring to is like, I have an Xbox, but you have a PlayStation, but I can now play with you on yours. So
yeah, but like I still need to.
So they don't want somebody not buying the game on their console because then they don't get the thing.
It's so weird how essentially every other company is not.
Did you see that or hear about the Minecraft ad that came out today?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I didn't see it, but I saw an article about it.
Essentially it's more, they had a Nintendo commercial promoting a game that literally had somebody sitting with an Xbox controller and ending the ad with picture of an Xbox, picture of Microsoft's Xbox and Nintendo's Switch, basically saying, yeah, well, you can play this game together, guys.
Yeah. And how much more fun is that? Like, it's just,
what's Minecraft?
Yeah. Well, still, there'd be because I started, or the platform you've chosen at the time, and then if you decide to switch, to have to kind of start all over again is really annoying. When it's like clear to do.
I think you have a gaming
term disability then.
My problem with that is, and I think that's what's getting a lot of play, is people are taking like addiction, which in all intents and purposes people consider as a disease or a mental health issue, and generalizing it to gaming. Now, there's very few people in this world that actually suffer from it, but in my personal, because like the addiction runs in my family, so I'm sure I have something that I'm not necessarily addicted to like substances or anything like that, but I'm sure there's
addicted to being awesome
DNA that has me compulsive towards something. But again, to target it at gaming, I find that hard.
It's a hard justification. Yeah, it's a little much.
And of course, there's always going to be the few that have it, or a lot of the same game. It just means you enjoy the game, I guess.
Yeah, let's look at the people that like, let's say there's the 1% that are really into it and actually have the problem. Is the problem necessarily gaming itself, or is there an underlying cause and gaming is just
exactly.
simply the outlet?
Yeah,
precisely.
Right?
That's my thinking. I think it's you're opening the door for something
Mhm.
rather, I guess, dangerous in the sense of diagnosing somebody who clearly has something else going on they need to deal with by just
Exactly.
saying that, hey, balance on video games.
yeah, that's garbage. But like, it's like I've been playing video games since I moved to Canada, pretty much, and I like
Canada's a problem.
I can't. You know
Blame
what?
Canada.
I'm addicted to Canada, is what it is. That's the problem. But like, I wouldn't consider myself addicted. I'm not. You know, it's just because it's
You
fun.
can stop whatever you want to.
Exactly. I just don't want to. That's not. Yeah, like just because you play a lot, and so much GoldenEye that I was like, man, I could really take one of these guns and do some serious damage with it, or anything like that. Just the same way as I didn't play a lot of NHL. Didn't play a lot of NHL. I know how to skate.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Like, if this video game, yeah, like, just do it in real life.
In that game, so on and so forth. I think it's more addiction is the disease rather than what you're addicted to.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
And like, really, the switch it up.
Corey's getting into his addiction.
They're going out and harming other people, but then there was that story.
Or is that an internet issue?
I mean, it's everything's online now, though. That's
exactly.
I mean, it's not the problem. It's great because now we are able to play games with friends and people around the world without having to, meet up and be at a certain location or whatever.
Imagine playing a game of like Words with Friends and they swat you.
Yeah, why? Why would you do that? Sorry that you don't like Quijibo, but word's word. Okay,
that's a real word.
Reality.
Yeah.
I don't know what Corey had on.
I was going to say he pretty much had all the underlying topics that we were going to talk about. So we have to wing it from here.
I figure we'll just go on to movies from now because I don't know. Right now,
I'm actually super excited for that one, and I don't get excited for movies very often.
And it is. I think that's a bit of a nostalgia movie, right? Like
Pixar always seems to hit home with that.
Exactly. And when did? Oh, Corey's back. Corey, when did Incredibles 1 come out?
That was 2004.
And no way, not that.
Close and come back.
That's cool. Yeah, welcome back.
And watch again at least 40 times. We really need this picture.
Yeah. Promises.
It's opening for an animated movie with 180 million.
Yeah, like that's crazy. But it's almost like there's just so many people that saw The Incredibles and were waiting for something like this to come out.
Yeah.
So that's great.
It's one of those movies that needed a sequel.
Yeah.
Well, it ends on a big cliffhanger, right? The Underminer shows up and credits.
Jack.
See, what you don't also realize too is that a lot of Pixar movies are actually over 2 hours or close to it.
But it doesn't seem that way.
Like I had no idea. I think the first Cars, unfortunately, was like an hour 55.
I really liked Cars 3, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Get out. No, that's not true. I liked it too.
It was a movie.
It ran.
I mean, one again. Yeah, Colin Farrell is in it. Danny DeVito, Michael Keaton. Those are the big names I know.
Is Danny DeVito Dumbo? Because I would watch the hell out of that.
Danny DeVito is the ringmaster of the circus.
Makes sense.
He's got the body for it.
Yeah. Directed by one Timothy Burton.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
That is.
But he's got Danny.
Yes, I'm supposed to see that with my parents. I promised them. Yeah,
dude, that's fine. And then we got Sicario the week after that, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp the week after that. So those are my
Summer movies.
That's yeah, early summer.
Fox Disney thing's gonna happen.
Yeah,
with their 71.3
yeah,
billion.
they like went pretty. I figured they would just do something like because
They're like 30% higher. 30% higher than the original offer. About 9% higher than the Comcast's counter.
Yeah, because first they started off with what was that, something around 50, 55,
53, I think.
And then Comcast went. And then Comcast went over the top to
65.
65. And
if you can do both, you do 50-50 is the highest you can go on both of them.
Yeah. That's sweet though.
Rumored to be accepted so that we could be hopefully, unless Comcast comes back.
Yeah.
Looking at Marvel getting all their properties back. Except for the Submariner.
What else are they going to be getting? So they / Marvel to get
Guy, the own Simpsons.
Man, I am happy.
They'll be pulling everything but the Marvel shows on Netflix because technically Netflix owns them.
Yeah, but just there's so much of so many things that Disney is going to own that I think that streaming service would be I would be very okay with having that. Just having access to all of that would be incredible.
Plus the original content to it, because Favreau is supposed to be doing another Star Wars show just for that.
Really? Nice.
Yeah. Which now brings me to my next point.
Star Wars.
Yeah. Lucasfilm is canceling any sort of, or at least holding any spin-off anthology movies because of Solo. So their focus is just going to be on the saga.
They had 9 things lined up, right? I read somewhere.
I think everything was never really confirmed. It was more rumor, but
yeah, I think they have to pump the brakes a little bit. I think it's a good call.
We talked about Boba Fett and the rumor Obi-Wan trilogy.
Yeah. The Obi-Wan one would, I think, out of all the characters, would be the only one that would be pretty well received. Maybe a Darth Maul one.
Jar Jar, the trilogy.
Jar Jar for sure.
Jar Jar, the trilogy, of course. That's
we have
the top of the list.
The traveling roadshow with the Jawas.
Yeah.
It's like an antique roadshow, just they're bargaining hunting and
I'd watch it.
Going to flea markets.
Jabba's floating ship. You get thrown in the Sarlacc pit.
Jabbas
are coming for you. But yeah, that's there's too much, too much coming out and not enough anticipation.
It's all
wait time in between.
The problem. And again, like we said before, did anyone ask for a Solo movie? Did anyone ask for a Rogue One movie?
No.
I feel like I don't mind the
behind Rogue One, but no one wanted it.
Yeah, I don't mind the Rogue One part because we had episode 3 and then we had episode
the third underworld. We knew the Lycans and the vampires had a war, but do we need to see why? They already said it in a flashback.
Yeah. We don't need
everything can be solved with a flashback.
Yeah, just
Oh, this old Star Wipe? It's it was the Han and Chewie, all that stuff was added to the plot. And if it was I wouldn't want I don't need to know what Leia was up to. From
R2-D2 the movie.
Yeah. his whole life. If it was just a movie that was focusing on Leia, I don't think it would be very good. Her growing up and becoming that her kind of rebellious self, not interesting to me. It's once she was kind of cool,
and then he fucked off, and that was the end of it. But then they made him a hero. You do a movie like Solo and you make him a hero before he's actually a hero.
Yeah.
It doesn't add up when you think about it.
Because then now I need another movie to be well, what happened to make him go back to regress back to being a scoundrel?
A nerf herder.
It was all the hurting nerfs for 14 years in between movies was the thing that did it.
Just quickly, I want to get your thoughts because I'm all for it. Was the Creed 2 trailer this week?
Yes. Oh my god, I can't wait.
Now, I haven't seen Creed yet, and which I know, considering that I grew up on the Rocky movies,
Yeah.
I should have seen that like
Ridiculous.
7 times now. But yeah, so I watched it anyway, and I'm sold.
Michael B. Jordan is just amazing in Creed. The movie itself, I thought, was fine. It was, it plays out exactly the way you think it would play out. But Michael B. Jordan played. It did not end well with him or for him.
If he died, he died.
That's right.
And he died.
Which really
amazing in that movie. He's so bad, but he's amazing in that movie.
It's everything he says. You're like, come on, but then it's amazing when he says it anyway.
If he dies, he died. It is after Rocky wins. Spoilers for a 30-year-old movie. Is when he does that speech at the end. When we first came out here, I didn't like you guys. You didn't like me much either. And these 2 guys were killing each other. But then, if I could change and you could change, then everybody could change.
Why can't we have more of that in the world? Like, there'd be no more wars.
No, just Stallone, Rocky, just play that speech everywhere. Just just John Cusack can say anything with a boombox over your head with that speech. I didn't see that. I mistake.
Taylor Hall had a very good acceptance speech for his MVP award.
I don't remember it, to be honest with you.
I think it was just basically
Thank you.
Yeah, well, he was basically saying like they had a tribute for the Humboldt hockey team.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he was basically like, seeing that puts everything in perspective. And he's like,
I don't want this damn trophy.
Obviously, it's great. Yeah, it's like obviously it's a great honor and stuff, but there's a lot bigger things. And he was, but he's never really been.
My problem with like this sporting award shows, and especially NHL, because I think the other ones tend to do it better, is
not much better though.
No,
like, better, yes. But,
I think maybe frame it wrong. I guess in sporting awards, when it's like this award's for the best, whatever. Like, why are there nominees? Like, if this guy's got the best stats, number 2 or number 3 shouldn't be winning this.
Exactly.
So, like, if I'm Pecorino and I have the best goals against in the year, I have the most shutouts, or I have like the best wins losses, and no one's even remotely close to me. How is there a number 2, 3 person for someone to vote on?
Yeah, why is that? There's there's different things like is it Lady Bing is
like those ones I understand
voted by the player, right?
Yeah,
like,
or like a community leader or something like that, where like was it Ted Lindsay or Bill Masterson or something, or Masterson one, where it's a nominee from all the teams.
Yeah,
like that's something. But again, when it comes best
to stats,
player in a certain position,
I guess it's like stats versus perception. I guess basically, like
why are the sports writers voting on it either? Like,
like look at like college football.
They would be the experts.
If you look at like
again, it's stats.
If you look at like college football and like it's the associated losses, stats, this and that, it's perception, which it should be really in theory, right? So I don't know. I just don't. I think that they can't do an award show if it's all on stats, because then we'd know all the answers, right? There's no drama.
That's what I'm getting at.
Don't do the award show.
Don't do the award show, or
I'd be okay with
don't have specific. Has to be the guy with the best stats. Now, what happens? You see a lot is like I think the year Drew Doughty beat Carlson or Brent Burns beat Carlson for the Norris. Everyone kept saying it's because Ottawa didn't make the playoffs that year.
Yeah.
So in that instance, had nothing to do with stats. They looked at it. Okay, your stats are better, but your team didn't make the playoffs. That's not entirely on that one defensive player.
No.
That's on the team. So again, how does that negate him? Again, when you're trying to say best defenseman,
that's also the MVP award in general. Like one of my main issues with that one of the best teams, right? Mm-hmm. It's the MVP of the league is like Alex Ovechkin, let's say. Or Taylor Hall, but
that should have been McDavid. He had the most points.
Exactly, or it's just like it's the most valuable player to that team. Like if that person wasn't there,
how much worse would you be?
Would the team be?
I guess I think that they're making playoffs, and if he wasn't there, they still wouldn't have made the playoffs.
Exactly. So how valuable are you? Really?
Yeah, that's where the Taylor Hall debate came into it. They made the playoffs this year.
Yeah, but if let's say if neither of them made the playoffs, but if
It'd be
McDavid
Kopitar.
wasn't there, like if McDavid wasn't there, then Edmonton likely gets another top 5 pick.
Mhm.
Whereas if Taylor Hall's not there, Jersey gets a top 10 pick, let's say. But like, wouldn't that make McDavid more valuable to his team? But it always just seems like more of a moment in time.
Yeah, I also find it funny that Rene won the Vezina for best goaltender, though he shit the bed in the playoffs.
Yeah,
but
like
it is what it is.
Yeah,
Awards.
Yeah.
just
Anyways,
quickly
best podcaster goes to.
with that, I think.
yeah.
Quitting the Caps job now
Yeah.
with the Islanders.
Apparently, that was always in the works.
Is that
Like even before they made the playoffs, I think.
Yeah, it was. He made it seem, and I think it turned out to be a whole money thing.
does that not seem? I don't know. I guess not
Ridiculous?
weird, but like, yeah, it just seems like circumstances can change, right? You would say something like, I think I'm done with Washington at the end of this year, kind of win or lose, regardless. But like, I would think that most people, if they won, they'd be like, all right, like clearly things are pretty good and like worth whatever I thought was not good before.
You can certainly reevaluate, but I think he had it probably in his like. It's one of those things where you say, okay, no matter what happens, I'm doing X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in his instance, he wanted to get paid, and it didn't matter where it was.
Right.
Yeah, but like, don't you
The
think
Islanders? Come on.
like, don't you think you'd be able to negotiate?
Well, they did. They talked, and I guess the money wasn't there.
Yeah, and
Turns out winning a Stanley Cup just isn't
it's
enough.
not enough. Not enough to.
I think he actually went in there and requested a pay decrease.
Oh yeah. What an
And
idiot!
like-
What if he gives it to you?
Then he wins. So
I really haven't.
I've not heard this story. Please explain.
Hot dogs. At the family, one of the hot dogs wrapped in duct tape to prevent it from coming apart mid-flight hit the fan right in the face.
hot dog, we have a wiener.
We have a winner. There it is.
They're doing the hot dog gun.
It's true.
Like it's on. I'm pretty
People
sure there's
are
some
like-
warning.
And, like, people are going.
It's true. Maybe you're not paying attention. Include a picture of him. Amazing.
Now, did they say at all if it was an all beef wiener?
They do not.
That's
Although
probably a
nothing was broken, McVeigh has significant bruising that requires icing every 20 minutes.
Oh no.
It's going to get worse before it gets better, she says. It's going to go down the side of my face. I guess she's referring to the bruise.
Yeah, not the hot dog. That already.
No.
Despite the freak accident, McVeigh doesn't plan and even finds the humor in the situation.
I will let you guys decide which one you want.
Okay,
One
awesome.
involving a dog, to stay on topic, or one involving a monkey.
I kind of want to hear the dog one.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
No, we'll go dog. Let's do it.
Okay.
Now let's get to the monkey.
all right.
one.
You have my
Here's
more
the-
questions than answers.
Here's the best part. The line here from the Guardian starts off with literally, "With best friends like these, who needs enemies?"
Oh,
So you know it's good. Richard Ramey, 51 of Fort Dodge, told police he was playing with his dog, Baloo, classic name, on the couch and tossed the dog off his lap. He says when the pit bull Labrador mix bounded back up, he must have disabled the safety on the gun in his belly band and stepped on the trigger. So he's sitting on the couch playing with his dog, strapped.
why?
Only in the States.
Hey, he's part pit bull. You never know; they might turn on him. The gun fired.
Now I want to know.
What were they playing?
The license for that.
He didn't carry the gun. It wasn't carried, and nor was it
That's
concealed.
true.
Auto
That's
theft suspect arrested with monkey clinging to his t-shirt. Dubbed the most Florida story ever. Now another sad line. As arrests go, this one was bananas. Right.
Oh,
Right.
Am I right? When deputies in Pasco County, Florida, arrested Cody Blake Hennison on Friday after he was allegedly driving a stolen vehicle into a ditch, they were shocked to discover an accomplice, a capuchin monkey clinging to his pink polo shirt. Now, here's the thing. Why is he wearing a pink polo shirt?
Are we sure
In
it wasn't
Florida.
the faded salmon?
Doesn't say.
It says pink.
Fleeing the scene, and that's when officers noticed his primate companion, who was named, appropriately enough, Monk. Monk the monkey.
Monk.
Give this kid props. Hessian told officers that Monk was 3 years old, and he had owned him since the monkey was 3 days old. He also said the animal came from a breeder in South Carolina and claimed there was no licensing or permitting required in the state. However, Hessian didn't have an exotic animal permit for the monkey, so the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission took the animal into custody and dropped Monk off at a nearby primate sanctuary in, according to the Tampa Times. Hessian has been charged with auto theft in a different jurisdiction, a felony, and he remains behind bars on a $5,000 bond. He could face additional charges for not having an exotic animal permit. And the monkey looks like Marcel. Yeah, and that's the exact same monkey. And he's literally in this picture. The guy's leaning against the cop car, handcuffed, with the monkey just grasping at his shirt. Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Not even, remotely surprised. Surprised.
Call it.
Ooh, new season.
That's it. All right.
I'm excited.
This was fun. I'd just like to say I've had a lot of fun over the last. Wait, this is 10
weeks.
10
We
weeks,
missed
I
a
guess.
week.
We had the spoiler cast in there, so 9 weeks.
9.5 weeks.
Nine
Like
and
the
a half-
movie. I think consecutively. We have
the longest stretch.
like was it
pretty-
consecutively? We have
the longest stretch.
was it
pretty-
VC podcast? We think
Yeah. But this has been a good stretch of like consistent-ish. Thursday night and the random Wednesday and Saturday in there. But I'm happy with the way things are going so far. Hopefully, viewers like you and listeners out there are also enjoying it.
I think PBS is going to sue because we say that a lot.
It's like, you know what? If they're not watching, I think we're allowed to say whatever we want.
It's true.
They're public access.
We'll worry about it
Until we
after
start
like
doing-
100 views.
Yeah, until we start doing telethons and stuff, I think we're okay.
I like the podcasting aspect of this. It's good to like kind of work on speech, talk with.
There you go.
All right. Facebook.com/Open Color Podcast, Twitter and Instagram, Open Color Podcast.